Hi, everybody. I'm going to go over how to submit your final portfolio and what is included in that. So this is your final portfolio packet. You can find that by going to this week's module and then going to this week's schedule and clicking on the final portfolio packet, and that will bring you here. You can see all of the different things that are included in this packet. It's similar to like a essay packet, right? So you've got some memes to ease the pain of writing here on the first couple of pages, followed by a description of your final portfolio. So the final portfolio is basically what takes the place of a final exam in our class, right? So your final portfolio is just a reflection on what you have learned so far. And in this case, it's a reflection of what you've learned so far for the entire semester. So you're going to be building on your midterm portfolio. So remember that about halfway through the semester, we created that midterm portfolio where you looked at all of the different things that you learned up to that point. So rather than starting over and, creating a brand new portfolio, I want you guys to start with that midterm portfolio and then continue building on that to create your final portfolio. So you're updating your midterm portfolio so that now you're reflecting on your progress over the entire semester. So that means that you should be telling me about skills and, new things that you've learned throughout the whole semester now that we're at the end of the semester. So the specifics are still somewhat similar. You have a 2-page reflective cover letter that highlights several learning goals or strategies, different things that you feel like you've done well at or improved on throughout the semester. So you're going to be updating that 2-page that 2-page reflective cover letter that you already have. And now you're going to be kind of talking about things. You might be choosing some of the same skills that you looked at in your midterm portfolio, but now I would also like to see some new and different skills that we looked at in the second half of the semester, right? So that's the first part that you need to revise. So that cover letter now needs to talk about your progress over the whole semester. You're still doing all of those same things, right? So tell me things that you've gotten better at. Name those things. Give me examples of them. So, maybe you got better at writing thesis statements, and you can tell how much better you've gotten at writing thesis statements when you look at like essay 1 compared to, say, essay 3. And now maybe your thesis statements are just a lot stronger, right? So skills like that, anything that you want to focus on. So after your reflective cover letter, then you need to include your writing samples. So if you're just updating your midterm portfolio, you're already going to have 7 pages of writing samples in there, right? So that's from your first and final drafts of essays 1 and or 2. So now you need to add on to those, and you're going to do that by including essay 3. And so now you need to have 14 pages of your writing samples. Remember that that does not include your works cited pages. Also, an important thing to note here, there's no max page limit. So just make sure that you have at least 14 pages of your writing samples. And if you go over that, even if you go over it by a lot, that's totally fine. Once you have gathered all of those things, then you need to arrange your portfolio. So your reflective cover letter comes first, followed by your rough drafts, and then your final drafts. And you can include a rough and final draft of whichever essays you choose. In your midterm, you used essay 1 and 2, and now I would prefer for you to definitely have essay 3 in there. But if for some reason you want to take essay 1 or essay 2 out, you can do that. All right, so once you arrange your portfolio, then you are ready to go, right? But there's a sample student portfolio here for you to look at so you can see what this looks like. So you can see we've got that reflective cover letter here. Goes on for a couple of pages. Then we have Essay 1 draft. And if we scroll through, we're going to see the Essay 2 drafts and so on. Okay, I'm going to scroll down towards the end now so that I can show you guys how this is graded. So your final portfolio rubric, you've got the basic requirements here, 30 points possible for including all of the different parts that you need to include, right? Do you have a reflective essay? Do you have your rough and final drafts? Do you meet those page length requirements? And that's up to 30 points there. Then the reflection portion. So are you, reflecting in a way that is meaningful and shows me that you're really thinking about your skills and your progress throughout the semester? 35 points available there. And then your reading and writing strategies. So are you naming those things? Are you talking about the vocabulary that we've been talking about in class? So I should hear you talking about things like, thesis statements or paragraph cohesion, the quote sandwich method, or using MLA format, or thinking critically, looking at rhetoric, any of those terms that we have been talking about throughout the semester. So make sure that you're naming those things when you're talking about them in your reflective cover letter. After that, you've got submission directions. So once you're finished with your final portfolio, then you are going to need to submit it. So if you are in English 5A, you're going to complete your draft and submit it to the final portfolio assignment in your English 5A course on Canvas. So you've got an assignment there that is already published and ready to go. And the final portfolio assignment itself will tell you what specific date your final portfolio is due on. So pay attention to that. You can also find that in our syllabus. So remember, the syllabus has a schedule of classes. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see when different things are due, including your final portfolio. And that's it if you're in 5A. So you just need to save a copy of this for next semester, but you're done for now. You only have to turn it in on Canvas. If you are in 5B or English 10, then you have one additional step that you need to do. So you'll need to complete the final draft of your portfolio, turn it in on Canvas, and then you're also going to submit it to your e-portfolio for the university. And so you've got some directions here that show you how to do that. But basically, you just need to go to your Canvas dashboard. So this is where you can see all of your classes. You're going to click on the GE Portfolio course, and then you'll go to area A2, which is written communication, and that's where you're going to submit your whole final portfolio. And if you have any questions or you want to know like what this is or why, you can click on this link here and it'll go over all of those things and kind of answer some of your frequently asked questions. All right, so that is the final portfolio. If you have questions, remember that you can always ask me those things in class. You can also text me on the Remind app or send me an email.